This segment's being sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, guys, this segment's been sponsored by Taylor's Archery. They're over at 100 East Lauderdale Street in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Or y'all can give owner Tracy Taylor a call at 931-563-7706. Let him take care of all your archery needs. Be sure to take advantage of his indoor range there and thank him for everything he does for our kids and our archery programs. All right, guys, welcome back. We've been talking tonight about some preseason deer stuff, and you know, Dayton, I've been getting started on some food plot things. Right. You know, we won't be planting anything just yet, but we're getting started and getting going. We do have some that we already planted back a few weeks ago, but we've got just a little video tonight that I'm going to be showing. It's not so important as far as what we're planting or what we're doing, but how I like to lay plots out. And so pay attention here as far as how it lays with the lay of the land, because we don't just go stick food out in the middle of nowhere. You know, John, I mean, we set it up a particular way to hunt. So that's what it's all about. Absolutely. So we're going to go over now and I'm just going to show some quick tips on a plot that we're working on right now. Hey guys, we're out here on one of our places today just doing a little bit of work on food plots, getting some cameras set up, or really just moved around, and also going to be checking on some mineral sites. Just some general summertime work. We try to get this stuff done fairly early in the summer. Anything that we need to do to get ready, we try to get that done so that we can just kind of get out of here and let everything start growing and do its thing while we're waiting on deer season to get here. So what we're doing out here today is we're going to actually be working on one new food plot. That's where I'm standing right now in an area that we've not previously had a plot. We've got it all sprayed and everything is laid down well. We're going to be starting disking here in just a little bit. And we're going to be putting in here a mixture of both perennial and annual seeds. So I want to talk just a second about the seed varieties that I typically like to use and why I like to use what I do. Now, there's all kinds of varieties out there, number one, I'll tell you. There are multiple things you can get from companies that are already pre-mixed for you, good blends of seeds. You can get perennial mixes, you can get annuals. You do that however you want to. What I typically do is I just go to our local feed stores and I'll get my own seed and we'll just mix them together. Jack and I have done that now for quite a while and it's worked well for us. So what we're going to be putting in this area here is going to be a mixture of clover and chicory. And those two plants have proven to be very good for us for both turkey and deer. They're a great attractant for both. They grow well. And just off over on this side, you can notice some shade, and it wraps way back in here. You'll see it a little better here in a little while. But all of this is a pretty shaded area on one side, and then the front end of this food plot is going to be real sunny. So our chicory and our clover is going to be on this shaded end. Out there where it's sunny, we're going to do a grain mix out there, and it's going to have some buckwheat in it, and it's also going to have milo in it. And we may do a little bit of millet as well, but it will definitely have milo on the back end and buckwheat. We like the milo because it's great cover, it's great food, and it's good for a lot of other critters as well, like your turkeys and your quail. Doves love it. It's just, you can't go wrong planting a grain crop like that. So that's what we're going to be putting in here. I'm going to start getting the disc run around. Again, we've already sprayed. Still got a little bit of green in here, but it covered pretty well to have just gone through it one time like we did. So I think we're ready to go. We're going to get this started. And then after we do some of this work this morning, we're going to check on some mineral sites and see if we have had deer coming into those so far. We're just now getting them freshened up for the year. I usually just freshen mine once a year. So we're going to do that today and get that going, and we'll see y'all here in just a little bit. All right, well, I've gone through everything a couple of times, and that's all we're going to do today. It's got a good start on it. We're going to let it set for a couple of days. We'll come back and hit it again. We always do these things over several weeks span. We don't try to come in here and get it in a few days, but I'm going to walk you through here now from the top end of this edge plot, so to speak, kind of how it sets up. So you can see here there's a little shaded wooded area here. Also, anytime I talk about food, I make sure to mention this because it's just something I'm big on, but Cover will always hold more deer than food will attract. You'll notice we're already showing some food plots right now, but if you look in the background, as far as you can see every direction, there's as much cover as we can get in here, and we're going to continue to add cover. Anyhow, today what we're talking about are these food plots and how we're going to get set up on these. I'll have a camera up in this shaded area somewhere. There's a great bedding area in the back end of there. I believe once we have food in here, these deer will be coming in right back in here. We'll have a blind that's set up just up inside that brush area right there. There's a tree down in our way right now. You can't really tell where it is, but all right, so I'm going to walk you through this. We're at the top end right now. You can see how it connects to where I was turning at the end of the field on the outer part. We're going to walk down through here just slowly, and I'll kind of show you how this sets up. Again, there's a blind on this upper end. All right, so you can kind of see how this is flowing. Now on the other side, we've got it's real grown up down in this field. We've got a lot of cover. There's a milo patch straight back there against that back tree line, and all that's bedding. There's a ridge down through there and there. A lot of deer bed there too. And this is an island of woods to my right that goes way up through here and connects to that same ridge top eventually. Well, let me walk you down through here. You'll see that you're only actually seeing a part of this plot right now. It's not real wide. To give you an idea on width, we are probably maybe 45 yards wide, 50 yards wide maybe at most right down in here. And it might be a little wider where it goes in the woods, and that's it. So, I'm gonna keep coming around here. You'll see how it sets up so this strip of food keeps coming. Here's our second blind set up. And we've got 3 cuts into the cover. Right across from it, that cut goes up to the shooting house, as you can tell, which won't be used until gun season. So this food plot turns. So we came from around this corner. You see all the cover. Food turns, goes right down this strip. Milo patch straight across from us now, bedding cover directly behind it. Okay, also roosting habitat for our turkeys. They come out, feed, cover. They have cover. So let me walk you down there and show you one more thing, or something that works for us that you can give a shot. All right, don't ask me how I know this, but I'm exactly 29 yards from my blind right now. And this is a trail that every once in a while we mow. But for the most part, we just leave it grown. But it's mowed every now and then. You can tell it's a lot more open than the brush around it. Matches up to another trail on this side, does the same thing, goes down through there. I have seen numerous mature bucks come down through here and use these type trails, these crossings that we have, to travel and check these different food plot areas, whether it be for does or if they're coming in to feed themselves. And these little trails make a good way for bucks to feel comfortable walking through these areas and then be able to cross this open area fairly quickly, get a bite to eat and head right back off into the cover. So I like to go around and go ahead and freshen up these mineral sites here. And just to talk about this particular site and how I do most of them, I like to set them up, number one, where deer already like to travel. There's no sense in setting it out somewhere on its own. I like to keep them somewhere where the deer like to already come through here and travel. And they like to use this little passageway through here. They travel through here a lot. I've got water right here nearby, which is another thing that I like to add to my mineral sites. I like to have them near water anytime possible. So the deer tend to use them more when I have them located near a creek or a little pond or something like that. So we've got this one freshened up, new rock in it. I won't touch this one again now for the rest of the year. We'll set a camera up over here across from it, get it set up, have that camera sending us pictures, and we'll see what's in this area. And you can get a good survey count through the summer and see what you got going on. We're going to head on and do a couple more. Mike and I have got to stop and hit 2 more sites, and then we're going to go check on some food plots. So we'll be back with you here in just a little bit. go. All right, now what I want to talk about right here, now you guys can already see there's some deer standing in the back of this little food plot. This is our second stop of the morning, and what we're going to be doing here is the front side of this field where we're parked at right now, actually, we're going to let all this grow up real tall. You're not going to be able to see back into where that deer is from where we're sitting when I get done with it. This will be tall grasses and things like that for about the first 40 yards in, what you see right now. Then the back end of that's going to be cut out. We're going to have some milo and some chicory planted in there with some clover as well. Now you can tell using the natural lay of the land, the deer that are standing back there feeding right now, you know, they really have not paid us the first bit of attention yet either. They're just kind of, as a matter of fact, they're coming towards us right now. So they use these areas quite a bit, you know, even in the middle of the day. Right now, it's just about lunchtime, and these does are just up feeding. They're just eating on some of the feed that's left over from the previous food plots we've done in here. But anyhow, that's what we're going to be doing with this new plan. So everything you're seeing right now is going to be tall for about 40 to 50 yards in, and then we'll switch over and put that food plot in behind it. So really looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be a great spot. There's a lot of bedding in behind there, that back tree line there. There's a lot of bedding in there, and I would imagine those deer we just saw probably were bedded down just a few minutes ago. So we don't want to intrude that bedding area as we're coming into these blinds. That's why we want to enter them from this top end up here and keep this stuff tall so we can slip right in and be overlooking the food plot the minute we step in the back of the blind. So that's what I'm thinking about that, Mike.
I think she needs to lay her egg somewhere rather than the middle of the road, but that's pretty cool. Again, I stress people get the kids outside because how many kids have seen this, you know? I think we're very fortunate to be able to look outside and go outside.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
She's acutely aware we're here, too.
You never know what you're going to see out here.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
All right, guys, it's time for this week's tip of the week. It's being brought to you by our buddy Wes Stone over at Crowlight Realtors. Y'all can give him a call, 615-289-9551, or you can also stop by and see him there at the office at 1432 West Main Street over in Lebanon, Tennessee. All right, your tip of the week this week, because I didn't get into it in this video. We're going to be doing quite a few with this the summertime series. But before you get to planting somewhere that you've not previously planted or haven't planted in the last several years, be sure that the first thing you do is go get yourself a soil test done. You can take it to your local co-op. Doesn't cost but a few dollars per sample. Get that done, and I promise you, your money will be more well spent when you go to putting seed in the ground. We're going to get ready to take a quick break. We'll be right back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.